Hello everybody, James here from KJ Fishing, and today I thought I'd talk about how you guys can get into making bass fishing videos. Let's get into it. Hey guys, so the main thing you're going to need for any sort of bass fishing video is the camera itself. Now, I've fished with a lot of different action cameras, and an action camera is what I would recommend you guys go for, only because they're very durable and you're out on the water, and it's kind of nonsensical to bring something very expensive like a DSLR that I'm filming on right now out on the water when you're trying to do underwater shots, because you can't put that underwater. So in my opinion, I would recommend an action cam for you guys, and I have 3 that I've used a lot. I've also used another 4th, but we're going to get into why it's not going to be in this video in a minute here. So the first camera I've used, and I can't complain, it was my first ever action cam, was the Sony action cam. Now this camera rocks. This camera kills it, guys. It films, of course, 1080p. All these cameras film 1080p. This one's going to film it in 60 frames a second, 120 frames a second. You can film ultra slow-mo, like the 120 frames a second. But this camera has lasted me the test of time. It's got great visual, but the audio is lacking. Audio is going to be lacking in all these cameras, but in my opinion, this one has yet to fail me. I've had it for almost 4 years, and it is yet to fail me. There's a new model list coming out. This is the beginner model. I mean, like the first generation of it, but it's a great camera, guys. Now, the next one I picked up was actually a GoPro, and that's the one that's not on this list, and I wasn't a fan of the GoPro, not because the quality of the video wasn't good or the audio wasn't good. The quality and audio are absolutely amazing on GoPro. I have nothing to say bad about that, just because of the software bugs. I bought a GoPro Hero 1. Now, this is a while back, so I can't say anything about the new GoPros, but in my opinion, I had a bad experience with them once, couldn't get mine to work, wouldn't charge, wouldn't turn on, it just failed me very quickly, almost a month after I bought it. So I've never gone back to GoPro. I tried other brands of cameras, and there's a lot of budget cameras that people can get that I would recommend a lot higher than GoPro, just because of the price, and they still are shooting 1080p video, guys. So the next camera I'm going to be talking about is the Sj4000. This is the SJ cam. This camera actually rocks. For $90, you can't get anything better. As you can see, it looks like a GoPro. They're basically copying what GoPro looks like, but it's a great camera. It has an LED screen on the back, which is awesome because you can see the video that you are shooting right from the camera. That's a problem with action cameras, is you can't actually see the video that you're shooting while you're shooting it. But once you come back into the editing software or whatever, you're going to see that, oh, it didn't look like what I wanted it to look like. This camera, you can see it in the back, so you definitely know what you're going to be seeing on the video later on when you're editing it. But this camera is great. Doesn't have as great of quality as the action cam or, of course, a GoPro, but for $90, I really can't recommend anything better. I picked it up just because I needed another one, and it was so cheap I had to give it a try, guys. So finally, the newest one of my cameras is the Fujifilm XP. This is their like shockproof, waterproof camera. I like this camera. I'm not quite as much of a fan as the action cam, the Sony action cam, that still is my favorite, but this camera definitely rocks, and it's got way better audio. It looks more like there's a certain look that action cameras have, like a video, and this one looks more like real video shot from like a nice camera, but it's definitely a great camera if you're getting into it. It's about $300. The action cam, the Sony action cam, was also about it was about $250, I think, and the SJ cam was $90. But if I was to recommend you guys one of these cameras, I would highly recommend the Sony action camera, just because of the price. It's not like a GoPro that's $400, $500, $600 or whatever it is for the GoPro Black Edition. It's $300 max, and it's a great camera for you guys to start with. I would highly recommend this camera. The only downside to this camera is the mounting system is a little bit different, so you're gonna have to get certain mounts so you can adjust it up and down. But other than that, guys, that's my review on action cameras. If you're getting more big into the YouTube part where you're actually doing these types of videos, interviews, make sure you try to pick up a DSLR if you have the money. This is a Nikon D5300. It runs about $650 Canadian, so it's a great deal for a DSLR that shoots awesome video, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please subscribe. It helps me out a ton, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.